Hi guys, so this is going to be the first installment of the prison thing that I was telling you about, and I'm hoping to, what I'm wanting to get out of it is just sort of to help people really who's sort of not been to prison before, if they're facing it, what to expect, even family members. We'll cover sort of topics like booking visits for the first time. Maybe a loved one's gone into prison and they're there or they're facing it, and you sort of want to know what sort of goes off and that sort of thing, what their day-to-day life is like. So this episode will sort of cover the journey to court, the journey from court to prison, the booking in process, the sort of first night centre. If you're got an addiction, how do they deal with that? Do they deal with that? So are you given medication? That sort of thing, really. So there's sort of two ways you can sort of end up in prison, isn't there? Obviously from court, or you've been recalled, so to speak. You're going to prison basically. So you probably pack a bag. I mean, I'd always say, even if there's a slight chance, you're going to court, and there's a slight chance that, no matter how tiny the percentage is, always go prepared. And sort of the things that you can take in. I've wrote everything down so I don't sort of miss anything out. You can sort of, what you can do is you can take in sort of tracksuits, leggings, a towel, nightwear, an exact list of, actually, where is it? So you'd be able to take underwear, pants and socks. Pants is a maximum of 6 pairs. Pyjamas is a maximum of 2 pairs. T-shirts you can take in as long as it's not got no massive logos on. Socks. You can sort of take tracksuits, maximum 3. Shorts and t-shirt, they're 2. As a set, so to speak. You can take winter shoes, that's maximum 2. Sandals, maximum 2. Flip-flops and slippers, they're maximum 2. I mean, the sliders, they're called, aren't they? They're all right to wear in the shower. A lot of prisoners have them for that reason. You can take sort of trainers, hats and gloves and sweaters, cardigans. Basically, you can take most things that you don't look good in. So you can't sort of wear low-cut tops. They wouldn't allow that in. So to get to prison, you're gonna travel in two ways. You're either gonna go in a Group 4 van, or if you are pregnant and your doctor has said, we do not want this girl to travel in a Group 4 van, then you would be escorted then a normal car, basically. Not like police or anything. It'd just be a normal car. And that's how you would get there. 9 times out of 10, you're going in a Group 4 van though, basically. They should stop for toilet breaks if it's sort of a distance, but I've never heard of it. They just want to get you there, don't they, basically. Expect it to be sort of uncomfy because you're literally sat in a box. You can't even spread your arms out. And then obviously you are going to be withdrawing if you are an addict. That's even worse. I can remember when I was in there, it got to the point where, although I was scared to go to prison, until I sort of realised what it was actually like. Once I'd been sort of sentenced in court and I'm waiting downstairs, I just wanted to get there. I was withdrawing horrendously, as I've spoke about in other videos and interviews with Sam. I just wanted to get there, because obviously they're going to give me some medication, but I'll get to that bit up for hours in a minute. So from prison you'll go to your local jail for that area, and ours in Sheffield would be Newhall. I'm not sure what other areas are. I know that the prisons are, just to name but a few, Eastwood Park in Gloucestershire, Low Newton in County Durham, Foston Hall in Derbyshire. Hang on, Miles is going to knock his phone over. Miles, stop going under the covers. I've cleaned my settee, the covers, and I put a sheet, a throw over on, and he's just way under. He's nearly going to knock the bloody camera off. Then you've got Style, which I believe is in Cheshire. But for Sheffield, it would tend to be Newhall, which is in West Yorkshire. So you're going to travel there. You will normally, unless you've got sort of like a long sentence, you will be moved and relocated from this prison, from the prison that you first go in, just to so one that's more suitable to your needs and what can deal with you. But if you're on a short sentence, 9 times out of 10, the one that you get took to in the group 4 one from the beginning is where you stay and do your sentence. I mean, mine was only an 8-week sentence, which is like a baby sentence, really, especially when you only do sort of half of it. And I stayed there the whole time, But if you are on a longer sentence, you will be sort of moved. So when you get there, you're sort of interviewed. But it's like having a job interview, isn't it? You start off like in a queue, and you're waiting to go around, and when you get to the desk, they sort of ask you, some questions. Do you want anybody informing that you're here? Your name, your date of birth. Sometimes they'll give you a prison number, which will be, your number for the whole, for life, basically. Meaning, what I mean by that is, if I ever go back to prison, which I can't ever see it because I'm going to bloody die, I will have the same number as what I had when I went in and did my 18 weeks, sorry. So then you will sort of make your way around. You have your picture taken for your little card that goes outside your cell. And then you go, now they have got like an x-ray machine, like in an airport. But at this time when I went, they didn't have it. So you went through and you sat on what called a boss chair. And that is to just see if they've got any metal inside you. Because, people, believe me, they take phone chargers up there. They take mobile phones and all sorts. So you sit on that. Then you go back round. So you start here, you go round, so you come out to another desk. And then you are sent to like a little waiting room. It's almost like a doctor's waiting room with all the chairs and leaflets and things like that, And there'll be girls sat there with clutching on the bags. Oh, sorry, I've missed a bit then. Before you go into the waiting room, you will then, if you've brought any property in with you, it will all be sort of documented. Obviously, because you've come from court, you're going to have things on you that you can't actually take into the prison. I don't mean illegal things. I mean like mobile phones, lighters, cigarettes, anything that's sort of in your handbag, really, your handbag, obviously. And they will sort of be documented, and then they're stored until you leave the prison. I suppose they're stored in like a locker almost. And what you're given actually in return is like a wash bag, one of those net bags with a zip on it, and that's for your washing, like. But inside there will be a plastic plate, a plastic cup, plastic knife and fork. What else is in there? A tea pack, and in that tea pack is sugar, coffee whitener, and tea bags. There's also a nightgown in there, like like a long t-shirt, really, aren't they? Nighties, whatever you call them. And then there'll be a pair of pants, and I believe there's a bra. No, there isn't a bra yet. What else is in there? Also, a few sachets of shampoo. The sort. Like what you get in like hotels and stuff, but only a cheap version. You're asked if you want to see the doctor. The nurse. If you're obviously an addict, then you obviously say yeah. And then you go and wait in this room, like I say. And you wait for your sort of name to be called. You go in once the nurse shouts you in. You go in, speak to the nurse, and she's the one who will say, we'll put you, yeah, you're on we'll start you on methadone and stuff once you get onto the wing. If you've been on a script on the outside before you came in, so let's say for argument's sake you was on 50ml or 70ml before you went into prison, the prison will have to honour that, so they'll give you the same as what you was on the out. But if you wasn't on a script and you were just sort of using and no, you wasn't being legally prescribed methadone, even if you've been buying it, it doesn't matter. If you've not been prescribed it by a doctor on the out, you will start on like 20, 30 mil. So, you know, it's a small dose, but it's going to probably, you know, help. Because a lot of it is in your mindset, isn't it? So anyway, you wait for everybody to, you know, you don't take one by one, so you wait for everybody else. And then you are taken over to where you're going to spend the night. Most prisons, I've been told, but definitely at Newhall, they've got what they call it like the first night centre, and it's a little a very like baby wing. Sorry, you know, quite. It's sort of to break you in gently. I think that's the purpose of it. And there's no sort of sharing cells over there. Whereas when you are on like a proper wing, 9 times out of 10 you're going to share, unless you are sort of got a medical reason why you can't, you know, or a mental health issue why you can't. I.e. you'd go into like a suicide cell. Excuse me. I'm glad I can breathe today, you know, guys. Before I did this video, I went on my vape, the crystal thing, and I went on my nebulizer because I knew this would be a bit of a longer one. So you're taken to the room where you're going to sleep, and sort of, you know, you're locked in, and that's when the waiting, you know, you're waiting for the doctor to come for you to take the methadone. You unpack what little bits you've got. I mean, obviously, if you've took things in, then, you know, you've got a few little things to sort of to unpack. In there, there's like a bed, obviously. It's not like a bunk bed. It's just a single bed because obviously these are only ever for one person. You have like a desk with TV is on there. A little sort of single wardrobe, almost like a child's wardrobe. Obviously there's a toilet and there's a curtain that you pull across, so staff can't really see you doing anything. You know, on the toilet, a bit of modesty like. When I went in, you could still smoke. So when you're in the booking in process, they ask you if you want a tobacco pack or like a sweet pack. Obviously, if you smoke, you're gonna pick the tobacco pack, and in that is tobacco, a lighter, and in the sweet one, I didn't have that, but I've spoke to girls who did, and there's like bottles of juice, biscuits, things like that. So at least you can have a bloody fag while you wait. And you have to you work that off. So you have to, once you start earning, you've got to pay that back. It's the same now, but obviously without it being tobacco, it's a vape set, and obviously in there is one of those vape pens. This isn't one, but a vape pen and an oil for it. You know, the vape. So basically, you're just gonna sit there and you're just gonna wait your turn. Eventually, they come for you. Your turn's reached, and you go down to a hatch, and you drink the methadone that you've been prescribed. Depending on what time you sort of arrive, you will sort of be let out. You don't have to go out if you want. You can sit and die in your cell, you know. But even though you sort of feel shit, it's nice to sort of get a feel of like who else is in there, you know. Anybody I can relate to, anybody I know. And, you know, you're all in the same boat. You've got nothing. I mean, some girls might have been there a couple of days before, but you literally just stay on this wing. If you're not an addict, you'll only stay on it one night. It will literally be a first night centre for you. And then you will be moved on to a part of the prison, which will be, you know, your home, so to speak. If you are prescribed methadone and Librium, I think it's Librium, and that's for alcoholism, as you probably already know. You will sort of stay, I think, about 4 or 5 nights on there, and you know you're offered something to eat. You can get, you know, you can make yourself obviously a cup of tea because you've got the tea pack. Stick the TV on. You know they have sort of like colouring packs and things like that, and staff will come around and sort of, you know, have a chat with you, sort of that sort of thing, and tell you a little bit of the regime, and or you can ask, you know, ask the girls anybody who's been in that. Miles, come on. He wants to join us now, guys. During your first few days, like I say, you'll meet you know, you meet staff and they'll introduce themselves. But once you are off that wing and you put onto, like I say, your home, so to speak, that's when you'll meet, you'll have like a personal officer. So obviously there's all officers available who you can talk to and who will, you know, more than help you in anything that you want to know. But you will also have like assigned a personal officer, which he or she will sort of sort out things on your behalf, and you know, it's like a little like a counsellor almost, really. You can't get a job until you have what's called an induction. And an induction is sort of just showing you around the prison, actually, really. And then there's like a little test, so to speak, I think. And that's to differentiate whether you need help with maths and English. So if you crap like me, I'll crap at maths and English, you have to do education and have a job. So, but if you sort of pass and you're fine with your maths and English, you don't need any help. You'll have a job for both parts of the day. So what I mean is, if you need help with your maths and English, you'll have education in the morning, and then you'll go to work in the afternoon. But you still do get paid. The education is classed as a paid job, so you don't have to panic about that. You are still given the chance to earn money the whole day as opposed to half. Let me think what else I may have missed. Jobs. Let me think if I can remember them all now. You've got sort of wing cleaner. What's there? Wing cleaner in the kitchens. There's a Max Spielman in there. I'll get to that bit in a minute. You can work in there, but that's for like longer term prisoners. Like I said, the kitchen, cooking, cleaning. There's a call centre. And the call centre and the kitchen are the highest paid jobs. I honestly can't remember the wages. I really, really, really can't. I'll try and I'll have a look actually, see, because I've tried to have a look to see if New Orleans actually got their own specific website to find information, but it's quite crap really. Hang on, Miles. See what else we may have missed. Oh, the Max Spielman. So, Max Spielman, as you know, it's a place where you go and sort of have your photos developed. Excuse me. We have your photos developed. You can buy sort of cups, can't you, with your picture on. You can have them made into key rings, t-shirts. You can go and have your picture taken. Family pictures, dog pictures with your baby, newborn baby, all that sort of stuff. Well, there's nothing different, but this is a new all. I mean, obviously you can't take your dog in and have that sort of things like that, but you can have a photo shoot yourself. At Christmas, you can go in and sort of have some Christmas cards made, which I did. And the reason they sort of do that is because Max Spielman actually employ ex-prisoners. So if you're on sort of a longer term sentence, like your lifers and stuff like that, you can get a job in here and it'll, train you up. The prisoners are the ones who take the pictures, and it's literally a shop. It is a shop, and you buy it and you pay for it out of your wages. Let's have a look. Access to the phone and keeping in contact with your family. You get 2 free letters a week, I believe, where the prison will actually pay the postage. So you can write to your family members and stay in contact that way. If you've obviously not got anybody sending you money in or anything like that, it is quite hard. Phone wise, you're offered a phone call, obviously, like I say, at reception to let somebody know you're there. That's normally the prison itself will dial the number, and then once somebody speaks, they say, we talk so blah blah blah, and anyway, you then get to speak, but it's only very brief, and it's you stood in a queue, so it's not really like you can't really have like a heartfelt moment on the phone. You are given a phone card, and on going in, you do get I think it's a couple of quid on it. Now there's some sort of app, which I'm not too sure about now, but this is how we did it when I was there. And you have like a pin. So rather than an actual card for say, it's a pin. And you have to put an app in and what numbers you want. And you can't just like put, anybody's on there. You put the number you want on there, and the prison will contact them and say, Victoria Saunders has put your number down. She wants to be able to phone you. She's in Newhall prison. Are you okay with that? Or do you know her? And if they say, yeah, we're all good, that sort of thing. And yeah, that's what we're going to cover today. So you can always keep in touch with somebody. If you don't know where a loved one's gone or a friend, you go to the government website to locate a prisoner, and you put as much information in as you can. So you put like your name, your address. I think you put your date of birth. The same for the prisoner. You put their date of birth, their name, relationship to you, and why you want to contact them. It is a long process, apparently. Due to the fact that through data protection, the prison has to, approach the prisoner and ask, say, say if I wanted to write to Nicola, they would have to go and say, Victoria Saunders has requested that, we give this information out, where you are, your prison number, is that okay? If she says yes, then they'll email it me. If she says no, then I don't know if the email will tell you, no, they've refused, or whether you just don't get an email. I don't know about that bit. But that's how you would find somebody. If you know the date, if you know they've gone to Newhall prison, but you don't know the prison number, for the first letter, put their date of birth, because it's as good as. Obviously, when they, remind them in the letter that you can't keep putting the date of birth, so can they send you the prison number? But for the first initial letter of contact, you can use a date of birth. So, guys, a little late in coming with this. I do apologise. I'm going to just hop off now and do today's blog while I feel all right. And yeah, I hope this has been a bit of a help for you. And tomorrow we will cover some more of it. See you soon.